Hey guys, so I'm back. It's been a long time since I made a video, I know, but the reason is this little guy. The last time I made a video, I was saying we were expecting again, and here he is. He's pretty sleepy. This is Colton Brooks. He was born on March 18th of this year at 8:32 in the morning. I'll tell you my birth story real quick. I made it to the hospital and 30 minutes later he was born. Yeah, had no time for pain medication. He was my first natural birth and he'll be my last natural birth, that's for sure. Oh, it hurts so bad. But he weighed 6 pounds, 2 ounces, my biggest baby so far. Now, he was born at 37 and 3, so he's my first full-term baby as well. And we were looking forward to bringing him home from the hospital. As you guys know, if you've been following me from before, my first 2 children had to go to the NICU because they were preemies. Well, we were really happy to have this one born term and happy to have him in the room with us after he was born and take him home with us. Unfortunately, that did not happen once again. Right after Colton was born and they laid him on my chest, he started to turn kind of dusky, they call it. It's sort of like a grayish color. It means he's not getting enough oxygen. So they took him to the warming table, tried to give him some oxygen, rub his back, stimulate him, get him crying. And after a couple of minutes, the NICU team came in. His oxygen saturations were very low, and the nurses couldn't really hear him breath sounds. They couldn't hear his breath sounds on the right side very well. So after about 10 minutes, they said, we're going to take him to the NICU just to check him out, and then he'll be back. And I said, okay. In the back of my mind, I'm a nurse myself. I'm a NICU nurse. I'm thinking, he's going to the NICU. That's it. Sure enough, about a half an hour later, one of the NICU doctors came in and said, well, we did an x-ray, and the right side of his chest has what's called a pneumothorax, a spontaneous pneumothorax. We call it a pneumo. It's basically where the lung collapses due to excess air. Sometimes it's caused by blood or pus or fluid or something, and it actually deflates the lung and compresses the lung, so no air can move on that side. It's very painful, and the only way to correct it is to put a drain in to drain off that extra air or fluid or blood or whatever it is causing the pneumothorax. So within a half an hour of his little life, he had a drain put in the right side of his chest and in his right lung to drain off the extra air pocket. And it was working. He was doing well, but he was hooked up to a breathing machine to help him breathe. Of course, he wasn't allowed to eat, nothing like that. So I couldn't hold him for about 4 days and the whole bit. It just really sucked because we were really looking forward to bringing this one home and all that. But so luckily, after a while, let's see, he was in the NICU for 8 days. On day 8, he came home. He did pretty well in the NICU. After about 4 or 5 days, they removed the drain in his lung, and he was able to breathe on his own. He started breastfeeding, and everything was going well. So he came home about, 8 days later. And he's been doing very well ever since. He's been a little guy. He's slow to gain weight a little bit. But his pediatrician is not concerned about his size or his growth or anything. She's very happy. He is 4.5 months today, and his last weight was at 4 months, and he weighed 12 pounds, 5 ounces, so he already doubled his birth weight. So the doctor's really happy about that. I don't know if he'll let me take this out, but he's got the cutest little face and the cutest little smile. He looks just like Maverick, his older brother. He doesn't really look anything like Bentley, the middle one. But he is such a happy baby. He's so alert and fun to be around and just everything. So like I said, he's breastfeeding, and on my channel I've talked before about having issues with low supply and breastfeeding, tongue ties and all that. This baby, same story. He had a tongue and a lip tie. Bentley just had a tongue tie. So we went back and forth on whether or not to revise it. This is my last baby, and I told my husband I just want to enjoy him. I don't want to, if we have to supplement with formula and bottle feed and breastfeed at the same time, that's fine. That's what I'll do. But at the end of the day, I decided to revise his tongue ties and his tongue tie and his lip tie, because I knew that if I didn't do it and I wasn't successful breastfeeding, I would always wonder if that's one of the things that I could have done. So, and it was just a small, we did a clip this time. With Bentley, we did the laser. This time it was just a doctor took a pair of scissors and just cut that part of your tongue that connects to the bottom of your mouth. It's called your frenulum. And then you have one up here too that connects your lip to your gum. When I was a kid, I was 12, I actually had my top lip frenulum cut to put braces on. So, and tongue ties and lip ties are genetic. So I wasn't surprised to find out that all the boys had ties. So for him, he just quickly cut it. It bled a little bit, and he was fine. He was pretty sore for a couple of days, but he did well. So we did have to supplement him after 2 months. We supplemented for about a month. We would nurse and then do bottles, a couple ounces of formula after each feed. I was pumping to try to increase my supply, but this time I was a lot more laid back. I was like, I am just tired. I was already back to work. When this one was 4 weeks old, I interviewed for my job that I now have and went back to work. And so I said, I'm going to be way more laid back with this one than I was with Bentley. So I just decided to do that on, on June, at the end of June, we decided to do his revision. And for a week after that, I kept giving him bottles here and there just to make sure he was getting enough milk. And then a week after his revision, I stopped all supplementation and let him just nurse on his own. And he's been doing very well ever since. He's a great breastfeeder. He likes to nurse on the left. As you might remember, I make milk on the right, but it's like 1 ounce and like 4 ounces. So it's like completely off. So he mostly eats on the left, and then sometimes he'll eat on the right for dessert. But we've seen the same IBCLC that we saw with Bentley, and she's the one who diagnosed his tongue ties. So I highly recommend seeing an IBCLC if you're having breastfeeding problems. Right away, see a good one. Let's see, he's 4.5 months. I was going to wait until 6 months to start solids, but this kid just seemed like such a hungry kid that and he's already low weight, so I wanted to use those extra calories in the solids to get his weight up. And he's done fantastic. I started about 4 days before he turned 4 months with just banana. Loved it, couldn't get enough of it. I'm doing a mixture of baby-led weaning and purees, and he loves to eat. I mean, the kid loves to eat. He will eat and eat and eat. You always want to nurse first. So I nurse first, and then about an hour later, I give him some food. Maybe an hour and a half later, I give him some food. He's doing great. Right now, he's eating twice a day. I don't want to give him too much too fast because it can really constipate him. I haven't seen that happen, so I'm just going to continue to look out for that. But so right now he'll have like bananas or mangoes or some sort of fruit in the morning with a grain, like some oatmeal cereal, or yogurt. He loves yogurt in the morning. And then for either late afternoon or early dinner, we'll do like a veg, like peas, green beans, spinach, that kind of thing. And I like to cut it with a little bit of applesauce or something kind of sweet because, I mean, it just doesn't taste good. It's good for him, but it just doesn't taste good. So, and he eats right now 4 ounces at a time. He kills those little pouches that are made for they have some that are made for his age, but also for older kids. My 2 and my 3-year-old kill pouches all the time. They love pouches. Food pouches. And so a pouch is about, depending on the company or the brand, it's like 3.5 to 4 ounces. And so I buy those, and he can take a 4-ounce pouch in no time, like 10 or 15 minutes. If I make a bowl of like cereal with fruit mixed in it, I make like a full bowl, and he kills that too. And whenever I go to take his bib off and wipe his face, he knows that means he's done, and he gets really pissed and starts to cry. So he loves to eat. He will probably love it even more when we go to 3 times a day. I'll probably wait a couple more weeks to go to 3 times. I'm not in a rush. He's not even 5 months yet, so we're doing good with that. He nurses on demand, I would say every 3 hours, maybe every 4 hours. And then at night we co-sleep. And so basically, if he wakes up in the middle of the night, and I pull the boob out, feed him, and I go back to sleep with him right beside me. And he feeds throughout the night, per his demand. And sometimes I don't even wake up and I don't even know he's eating. So that's been really great. Just, being able to sleep together so that I don't have to get up. I get up and change his diaper once in the middle of the night. And then after that, I just sleep, because the kids, both the older 2 boys, are in preschool now. And it's just, it's just way too much. I need my sleep. Couple other things that have happened in the past. I'll try not to make this too long, but I say that every time. My PPD has kicked in, postpartum depression. I'm on meds for that, and I'm actually doing really well. I'm on Lexapro this time, and I've been on a lot of meds before. And you guys know I have underlying issues with anxiety and panic attacks and things like that. But right now I'm doing pretty good. Lately I've been getting out of the house a lot. I've been going to thrift stores to try to get the boys, the older 2 boys, back to school clothes. Back to school starts here in about 2 or 3 weeks after Labor Day here. So trying to do that. I've been getting out of the house, going to the grocery store, things like that. Things that I used to not be able to do before. I would just, sit at home. I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't want to drive. I would have a lot of panic attacks when I drove. And sometimes I still do, but the Lexapro really, really helps. So I'm doing good with the PPD right now. My husband is home now. He no longer has to travel overseas. He does travel occasionally still, but it's not overseas. It's very close to home, so that's great. That was a really big problem before. Let's see, just to update on the older 2 boys real quick. Maverick is 3, he'll be 4 in October. And Bentley's 2.5, going on 15. He's our wild child. And they're both doing fantastic. They love their little brother. We call him Baby Colt. And so they'll come up and say, "Hi, Baby Colt," and they'll give him kisses, and they like to pat his head, and Bentley likes to kiss his forehead. And if they get home from school and he's asleep, they'll say, "Where's Baby Colt? Baby Colt sleeping?" And I'll say, "Yeah, Baby Colt's sleeping." So it's been great. It's been a great transition. Yeah, so everything's going great. Like I said, I'm back to work now. I don't work that much. I just work to get myself out of the house and get a little bit of extra cash, for whatever. I'm a home health nurse, pediatric home health nurse, and I work maybe 1 day a week, or, 4 or 5 days a month, something like that. And I do evenings and weekends so that my husband's home and I don't have to put the kids in daycare. So that is phenomenal. That's been really good. That's helped my psyche a lot. And I know I don't have to work. So without that pressure, it's made it a lot easier for me to work. Let me just show you real quick. I never did this before with the other boys, but I kind of want to show you just a little bit of his nursery. His theme is giraffes, ABCs, and 1, 2, 3s, and kind of like the giraffe and elephant theme, and then like ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, sort of, not like a safari. But you can kind of see behind me, I don't know if you can see this picture, but it's a really cute picture of a mama giraffe with her baby giraffe. Let me see, there we go. And I love that picture. I have it right here where I'm sitting, and it's usually where I feed him. Let me see if I can do this. I'm not used to this computer. Let's see here. Oh, I like this wall a lot. This wall has most of his decorations, it's like the blue and green giraffes, and there's some quotes and stuff over there. And then this wall has some more quotes, and then his name up there like that. Let me see if I was going to try to get the ceiling. I have some blue and green stuff hanging from the ceiling that looks pretty cute. Over here I have his cloth diaper stash. Oh, there we go. Cloth diaper stash. We are cloth diapering with him, just like we did with the 2 other boys. It's going great. I love it. Changing table. Here's some more, just like giraffe pictures that I thought were cute. And then over here, this is a pretty interesting little story. This is where his dresser is. And this is not a valance. It looks like a valance, but it's not. It's actually a blanket that a good friend of mine made for Maverick when he was in the NICU. And we used it to put on Maverick's isolette on the little crib that the babies lay in the NICU. And she made that for Maverick to lay on while he was in the NICU. And I thought it was just the best pattern. And I was able to find the same pattern on Etsy for a crib sheet and lots of different things. So that's where I got the idea for his room from. But I couldn't find a valance. So I thought, well, I'll just hang a blanket up and nobody else will know. Nobody will know the difference. So I did, and it's been great. I don't think you can tell. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you can tell that it's blanket, not a valance. But we're doing great. He's getting fussy, so I'm going to get off here. But just wanted to give a quick update to you guys, let you know how everything's going. I'll update as I can. If you guys want to see, I've thought about doing like a cloth diaper wash routine, or like a day in the life of a cloth diapering baby. If you're interested in that, let me know. And if you're interested in any, even a day in the life, I'd love to do that. I don't really make a lot of videos, but I'd like to change that. I want to start making more. So whatever you guys want to see, or if you have questions, just let me know in the comments, and I'll try to make it happen for you. So thanks for coming back to check on the Feller fam, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.